Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here, and coming to you live from our studios at the Capital Region International Airport. And this is a tricky one because we're now going to go to two separate spots for the next interview. We're going to run down to actually Southfield right now, and we're going to spend a little time with Bryan Cermak, who's a senior attorney in Southfield, Michigan for Foster, Swift, Collins, and Smith. And then we're going to come back here to hometown, so to speak. Alexander Rusek's going to join us, senior attorney here in Lansing with that same firm. Guys, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on.
Good morning.
It is so far. Now let's not do anything to change that. All right. All right, here we go. Now, this may at first blush not look like a business story, but it is in fact exactly that, because tomorrow's business leaders are our main concern, and we want to make sure they're well educated. And there's some things that maybe possibly could stand in the way if you don't know about them. So we're going to talk about some of those issues right now. And Alex, I think we'll start with you, if you would. When your child turns 18, they're legally independent. So now that they're leaving home for the first time, they're likely to face a lot of multiple situations. Tell us about those, and include CHATGPT, AI, etc., because there's a few pitfalls out there.
Thank you very much, Chris. And just like you said, once a child turns 18, in our legal system, they're going to be treated as an adult. So they may still be living at home. They may still be on mom and dad's health insurance. But in the eyes of the law, once they're 18, then they are a full adult, and they have potential adult consequences to face if they run afoul of the law. What we often see on campuses across the state and across the nation is a lot of crimes that could be prevented with a little bit of know-how and preparation. So what I usually see is students getting in trouble for alcohol-related offenses. That is pretty much everywhere, and that could be underage drinking. That could include like a driving while drunk type of issue there. We see that quite a bit with college students. We also see a lot of crimes that involve theft, and a lot of students are unfortunately victims of theft, especially on campus housing, such as in the dorms. We also see a good number of cases for young persons who unfortunately try and experiment with new controlled substances. And of course, they could face potentially felony criminal charges if they were caught using, possessing, or selling any kind of controlled substance, a regulated substance. So we see those issues come up a lot, either on campus or connected with just off-campus events. We also have a couple of other issues that parents really should be on the lookout for, and what they really need to discuss with their children when they're heading off to college. One of the big ones, and a very important one, I touched on a little bit earlier as far as being a potential criminal offense, but we have to make sure that we have parents that are talking to their kids about the issue of consent. And that comes into play on the criminal side as well. But parents, you need to talk to your kids about obtaining consent from their sexual partners. It's not a maybe, it's not a possible. This is something that they need to be an adult and get consent for. No question about it. And parents, that's not all you have to worry about on campus. We also have a lot of issues that come through my office involving students who maybe violate honor codes. And a lot of what we're seeing right now is violations of honor code in regards to cheating, and especially using generative AI like ChatGPT. So parents, you need to sit down, understand some of these issues, and really have a talk with your child as they're about to become an adult and go off on their own at whichever college they choose.
Hey, Bryan, I got to get to you because there's when they plan ahead, right? There's some forms, etc., and some legal issues they should pay attention to.
Sure. When a child turns 18, he or she's an adult and they want to get away, but it's good to be in touch with your parents, because if something happens to you, God forbid, and you can't make a decision for yourself, you want your family members to make those decisions. So what you should do is get a patient advocate form designation saying, if I'm sick and can't make a decision for myself, Designate one of your parents or both of your parents to make the decision for you. Execute a HIPAA authorization. The last thing you want to do is have an accident, God forbid, when you're in college, let's say, and your parent gets a call and says, what's wrong? And they go to the college, tell me what happened. And then you get the hospital and say, well, we can't tell you because we don't have an appropriate consent form. We can't talk to you about your own son or daughter. You should also get perhaps a durable power of attorney. And if you're footing the bill, there's a FERPA release, FERPA, the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, that allows you to talk to the school about your kids' activities there. And if there is medical treatment at the school, sometimes they consider that school treatment, not medical. So you need that form as well. Also,
pretty interesting, because HIPAA comes into play here too very quickly.
Absolutely. Get a HIPAA authorization. One last thing. The internet never forgets. Watch what you type. If you're going to type something, don't hit send right away.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Well, listen, Alex Rusek, senior attorney in Lansing, and Bryan Cermak, the senior attorney with in Southfield for Foster, Swift, Collins, and Smith. You guys, thanks for bringing clarity to this. And I know we got about 2 more hours of information. We're going to have to get back to you on the rest of it. But thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Sounds good. Have a happy 4th.
You too. All right. We will be right back on the Michigan Business Network, where you can watch the Michigan Business Beat. I'm Chris Holman.